Hello artists, today we're going to work on our 1-point perspective Polar Express drawing design. And we've already talked about how 1-point perspective is where you have a vanishing point on either the center of your paper or on the side, and then it makes it look like your drawing is coming out of a distance. So what we're going to start with is every table is going to get 2 of these how to draw a Polar Express worksheets. So if you have more than 2 people at your table, you're going to have to share one. You're going to get a black piece of paper, and then we're going to be using our rulers, and if you need to, we're going to be using Sharpies. So when we get done with our Polar Express design, we're going to draw it out today first, and then next week we're going to be using some chalk pastels to create a design. So when we get done, it'll look like the Polar Express is coming out at you, showing that 1-point perspective. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to draw our vanishing point for our drawing. So on your handout, the first step is to draw the vanishing point 4 inches up on your paper. So I'm going to lay my ruler down on the edge and put a mark right at 4 inches. Now I'm going to switch to my Sharpie to kind of show you the drawing better. But when you all do it, I want you to use your pencil first, and then you can go back over in Sharpie just in case if you need to erase. But just so you can see the black paper better, I'm going to use the Sharpie. So I'm going to lay my ruler down right at that mark I made at 4 inches, and I'm going to draw a line straight across. I'm going to put a dot right over here in the far left, and that is going to be our vanishing point. The vanishing point is where all our lines are going to come from, and I'll show you how that works in just a second, but that way it gives the illusion of the Polar Express coming out at you. So the next thing on your drawing guide is we're going to draw guidelines above and below our vanishing point. So I'm going to line up my ruler right on that dot on the vanishing point I just made. And I'm not going to go all the way up to the corner. I'm going to stop just a little bit below and draw a guideline there. I'm going to do the same thing below my horizon line, my vanishing point, but I'm not going to make it as big as the top one. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So this is where we are so far. I have my horizon line with my vanishing point, and then I have my guideline up top and my guideline at the bottom. Now, the next thing we do is we're going to start drawing your actual Polar Express train. So I'm going to start right over here at my top guideline, and I'm going to draw a big half circle. This is going to be the front of your Polar Express train. And then on your drawing guide, it shows you to do another half circle inside that one. And then one more that's sort of going to be like the headlight of your train. Okay, from there we can add our little stack on top, depending on how much room you have. I didn't have a super ton of room at the top, so my stack is a little bit shorter. It's kind of going off the page, but it just depends on how much room you have. Then we're going to draw the grill of the train. So I'm just going to draw slightly horizontal lines coming out from those half circles we just did, so that it looks like the front of the train. Now, number 4 on your drawing guide says to add circles for the wheel. So right at between our horizontal or horizon line and the bottom guideline, this space in here is where you're going to add circles for your wheel. So I'm going to start by adding one kind of close to the grill of my train, and 2 more. I'm kind of drawing mine in 2s, but I'm staying between my horizon line and my bottom guideline. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to take a bigger space and put my next 2 set of wheels. Take a space, do 2 more. And as you keep going towards your vanishing point, your wheels are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, after we do that, we're going to section your train off into carts. So we're just going to do that by doing vertical lines that go down. It's kind of up to you by how many carts you want. I'm kind of putting my lines in between those spaces between my wheels to kind of separate it that way. And then the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add some windows to your Polar Express train. So how we're gonna do that is we need to use our vanishing point. So I'm gonna line up on that top guideline that we did just a second ago. But now I'm gonna drop it down, still matched up with my vanishing point. And I'm gonna draw the tops of my windows. Now we're using the vanishing point because we started, your train is based on that vanishing point. So if you did just straight horizontal lines here, it would look kind of funny. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my bottom. On that horizontal line, I'm gonna come up just a little bit using that same guideline. I guess, yes. And I'm gonna do that same thing. Matching up kind of those lines to make my windows. And then I'm just gonna draw vertical lines to connect them. So really, these vertical lines should match up with the vertical lines on your train. And the horizontal lines, the lines that go across our train, should match up with our top and bottom guidelines that we did. You can add vertical lines to your windows if you want to. Kind of on my design that I have already finished, I used my chalk pastels and I tried to do where it looks like curtains and a light is inside the train. And I used my finger and kind of smudged it to look like a winter storm. So if you want to add those vertical lines to your train, you can. But when we get done today, your design should look a little bit like this with our 1 point perspective to make it look like our train is coming out towards us.